So, how did I end up pregnant alone in the Middle East and almost imprisoned? What would you do? So, nitawapatia my story. I'll give you my story. It's a sad one and a funny one at the same time because it's my story. I'll tell it anyway. Plus, there are things I feel I need to get out of my chest. Currently, Niko Kenya, I don't have, how you come back from I don't know, wherever you are. For instance, me from the Gulf, you try reaching out to your friends. They're busy. They made a life. They have other friends. They have jobs. They have things, and you kind of come back thinking that it's like they stopped at that, waiting for you to come and continue your friendship. Wow, it doesn't work like that. So nimeenda kuwa just here at home, at my mom's house, back home, literally. Merudi nyumbani. And so the only friend I have here is my mom, and it's actually my friend. More friend than a mom to me. So it hasn't been so tough. Back to Dubai, UAE. So I mean, I've been there for 8 years, and I've been careful, been one of those women who know exactly what they want and how they get it, and working hard towards building life and something, because I have two very handsome boys that I work for, that I live for. And so I wasn't there as a confused teenager, so I knew exactly what I wanted. And it's school fees, it's a life for my kids, food, it's a home, it's everything, and I've done pretty much a lot, and I thank God for that. Lakini there's always that one day that life takes a turn and throws a curve. Hey, so in May of this year, May, in wakati wa COVID, like the sawa moment when we're on lockdown and a lot of shit is happening and all that. And yours truly learns that she's pregnant. Now, I know most of the people will ask, how did you just say that you've been taking care and you knew what you wanted and exactly, yeah. It's human nature. And I don't need to get into details of all that. But so at this point in my life, so this is what happened when COVID started, and I lost my job at the very beginning of it, because I lost my job on March. Actually, it wasn't like I got fired, but I got put on leave with the promise of coming back in a few weeks when things get back to normal and blah blah blah. Most of us lost our jobs that way, so najua mnaelewa. Cut the long story short, so from March, April, and then May, I'm pregnant. So it was tough. I'm jobless, I'm homeless, and single, pregnant, and having a go and a lot of crap from baby daddy, So I don't know why men do not have it in their hearts to support. And this is the moment I felt betrayed, like kabisa kabisa kabisa. I felt like the world has turned against me. And I tried turning to a few people that I would call friends, not best friends, but people I know. And the very first thing they would suggest to me was, get rid of it. Why do you have to worry about it? What are you going to do? You don't have a job. You don't have a place to stay. He doesn't want you. You're in UAE. You're gonna just look for a doctor and get rid of it. Easier said than done, huh? When it's not your body, it's very easy to say some things. But at that moment, I wasn't really sure how I'm feeling about the whole situation. But the funny thing is, the pregnancy wasn't haikuwa any stress as much as feeling like I was feeling more betrayed, and I was feeling something that I didn't even expect myself. Like worrying about being pregnant was the last thing on my mind. I didn't give a care about that. I was just worried about other things, like how can someone betray me? How can someone just be with me in good? But then again, this is men. Not all of them, but it's men. I don't know where they got this. Anyways, so this is 8 weeks on. This is May, and I go for my first ultrasound, and I actually wasn't going for the first I was going I was going in to see my doctor because I was having some weird cramping feelings and pain, not feelings. I mean, feelings cannot be cramping. In this case, yeah. And I kind of felt like I had an STI, or I don't know, or UTI or something. So I went in to see the doctor. This was risky kwa sababu going to a hospital in this case, normally that's how you end up arrested. So I went to Asta and I saw the doctor, explained everything, and boom, yeah, and I'm pregnant. And she tried asking a little bit about you. How about your husband? I was like, oh, he's ecstatic. He's just so happy. It's just unfortunate that we didn't know I was pregnant, and he just traveled back home on a repatriation flight. This is where the end justifies the means. I lied, and it was for the greater good. Oh, congratulations, the baby is healthy, and blah blah. And I was treated, and I went back. So you won't believe that baby daddy took me to this appointment actually, and we were in that room during the ultrasound, tukasikiza baby's heartbeat and all. And for me, it was like a beautiful moment, but I knew in real sense it wasn't a beautiful moment because it probably wasn't going to last. And I'm going to tell you honestly, that was the last time we had a normal human being grown up talk. And when we got home, like I had moved in and was living with him. When we got home, guy didn't talk to me again at all. And then I kept asking, are you okay? Is everything okay? So what are you thinking? He was like, I'm fine, nothing is wrong. And then he went to work, and then from work he sends me a message and he says, we need to talk, and you know it. And dude, I've been trying to talk to you all through because I knew we need to talk, but you were like, no, I'm fine. Anyway, he comes home and we need to talk. And he goes straight to telling me, I don't want this baby. And I looked him straight in the eyes and I was like, well, too bad, because you're not the one who's pregnant. Then the moment that came out of my mouth, I knew that I held the key, I had the power. I knew at that moment that it's a divine moment, because like I've been given it's like I'm holding this precious life, and I can decide whether I let it grow or not. And I feel like a little god, and I'm sorry to say that, and that's disgusting. But I could have easily made that decision, and then it's done, and then I'll be cursed forever because I'm pro-life, and I'm sorry, everybody has to make a choice. And he said, I'm gonna give you a lot of money so you can get rid of it, have an abortion. And I said, well, you could give me a lot of money to take care of this baby, but if that's not what you want, I don't care about your money. I'm keeping this baby. And part of me was like getting back at him, like, you're not the one who has all the say. Like, you're not the one who will decide whether we keep the baby or not. I'm not letting that happen. Anyway, so the fight went on and on and on, and he would come from work and then lock me in the room and send me messages that I don't know him. I need to get out of his house because he's capable of anything, and he doesn't worry about being in UAE or anything. And there was a lot of pressure and a lot of shitty, crappy stuff. And I decided I wasn't gonna take that anymore. And people ask me, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you're going to be able to do this? Kuna watoto wengine nyumbani, blah blah blah. And my ears were blocked and I was deaf to all those negative things. I still can't explain why. So I decided I'm leaving. I'm not going to stay here with all this negativity. Just made a decision to keep this baby. I'm not going to sit here and watch someone make me lose this baby because it's going to be twice the pain. I left. Those of you mko Dubai mnajua about how moving is easy. So I just went online. Alienda kazi. I went online, got a room. I was like, I need a room. I don't need to share with anyone and blah 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 blah. And I got myself a room in JBR, and I moved in there. And so it was just me and my thoughts. And sometimes my friend, Mona, wherever you are. 3 days into moving out, I got very, 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 very sick. This is not the normal pregnancy. This is a life-threatening sickness that just happened just like that. I got DVT, deep vein thrombosis, and it was like it was spreading like wildfire. So the clots were separating from a deep vein, and the clots were traveling. And if these clots travel towards one or all of your vital organs, then you're dead. And I didn't sleep for 3 days, and I cried out in pain. And you will never guess where the pain was. Ilikuwa mguu. Ushaiumwa na mguu ukasikia ni kama your heart is coming out. And I thought this is a matter of, I didn't, at that moment, I didn't exactly know how dangerous or what it was exactly. I thought just like, I don't know, it's as a result of an accident I'd had before or whatever. And at this moment, something just told me, choose life. You have to choose life. And I thought, I've already chosen life. I'm keeping this baby, but I choose to be alive. So the only way you're going to keep this baby alive is stay alive. Remember, no work for months, no money, no food. At least not a good life, you know. So mimi huyo, I thought, what should I do? I don't even have the means to get myself to the hospital, and there was a very big drama happening like a day before this between baby daddy, me, and my friends and his colleagues. A lot of stuff. So I'm just crying and looking at my phone and thinking how I'm alone and how I've messed up and how I've fucked up my life and how for the first time in this world I didn't have a clue what I was doing or how I was going to do it. I was stuck, alone, and with a big secret that I cannot let out. It was already known in one hospital, but and I thought, well, the same doctor who was seeing me before, I can still go back to her and explain to her how I'm feeling. She has already asked about husband and she knows this and that and that and that. Mimi huyo nikarudi Asta. And I couldn't even queue. And don't forget, I don't have insurance, so the amount I'm spending on these visits are enormous. And I went back in and I registered as an emergency. I went back in and I told her how I'm feeling. And she was like, you may be having a blood clot. I'd had a blood clot before, like 9 years ago. So I knew how exactly the pain feels like. So this was the same pain, only more than last time. So when I told her I've had a blood clot before and this is how it feels. And she was like, oh my God, we need to treat this as an emergency. If it turns out it's really a blood clot, you're going to ICU directly. And I cannot enroll you in ICU here in a private hospital. You don't have insurance. And I would advise you to go to a government hospital. And for this, you will have no option. We will send you directly there. So if you have any relatives or anyone to call, just call them now and tell them you're in the hospital and they should stay put for any kind of news. Because once you get to ICU, you're not allowed devices or visitors. And I thought, oh my God, this is how life happens. This is how life just leaves you just like that. And I went and I was directly sent to do that ultrasound, scanning. I don't know what they call it. I forgot the name anyway. I did that and boof, they found out that I didn't have one or two. I had 3 blood clots and they were traveling very fast. My blood was clotting like really fast. My blood was clotting in hours. Within hours, I'd have another blood clot and another blood clot and another blood clot. And they were forming like towards the direction of my vital organs. And immediately I was put on a machine and I was put in the ambulance and they started giving me treatment and injections and all that. Wow. And I was there for an hour. And then they told me now they have to send me to a government hospital. And they asked me if I'd like the services of the ambulances and all that. And I can't afford that. I said, no, but I'll call a friend to drop me at the Latifa hospital. So I called my very good friend, Francis. Francis, God bless you. He picked me up, took me to Latifa, and I actually told him that I was going in ICU. It's kind of funny when you're talking and telling people I'm going to ICU now, because usually people who go to ICU don't decide that they're going to ICU. It happens. So he dropped me there and nikaingia ICU. And I was in that hospital for 8 days. And in these 8 days I learned so many lessons, and I learned that people you think are your friends aren't your real friends. They are friends, but you do have other friends that you probably don't think much of, a lot about. And friends are in many categories. There are friends in need, friends indeed, friends in good times, friends in hard times, bad times. And friends for life, friends no matter what. And right now, I know exactly who my friends are, and I love them, and I treasure them, and I value them. I also do know who my not so friends are. I still love them because they've taught me something. What an my feelings. Anyway, my hospital bill about about 9,000 dirhams. No insurance, no husband, no job. Actually, no home to go to because stuff have happened, and hospital bill is counting by the day. It feels like it's counting by the hour. And well, to cut the whole story short, I saw I saw some kind of favor on my side. I saw God's favor on my side. So I started talking to the nurses and I told them I didn't have money and this is my situation and all that and all that. And I didn't want to stay because every day counts and it's not like I'm going to be able to pay for this amount. And they told me there's a form I can fill up. I could get help from charity homes and all that stuff. And I tried. And eventually one day I broke down and I refused to take any medicine. I refused to take any medication. And I told them they should just let me. I don't want to take any more medication. I don't want any more food. I don't want to sleep. I don't want to be there because I don't want to pay a single dime for an extra day. And it got to the attention of the managers and all that, you know. So I was finally directed to one guy, and I was told that this is the only guy who can do something about your situation because we cannot let you go. And I went and I spoke to him. Sometimes fear will hold you back and you will end up in situations that you shouldn't. Just sometimes, most of the times, you need to cast out your fear and just speak to people. They are people, they're humans. And when I talked to this guy and I looked him straight in the eyes, and he looked at me and he said, "No, what do you want me to do?" I said, "I want you to let me go. Because the longer you keep me here, I have no one outside. I have no one working outside. I have no one coming to pay for this bill. I can promise you that. You keep me here for years, you will just end up taking care of me and no one is coming to, I promise you, no one is coming to pay. If I'm out there, let me go out there. I could try and see how I can pay for this money from out there. Whatever amount I can get, I can be coming to pay for this money. Whatever document you need from me, ask me, I'll give it to you." And I was ready to surrender my passport or whatever. I mean, there was no way I was going to be in that hospital and accumulate bills of millions and millions. No way. And he let me go. He just told me, "Go downstairs, go to this office, ask for this lady, tell her to give you that release form and release you from the hospital, and tell her also to apply for you in the charity for this bill to be cleared. But you have to talk to her about how you think you'll be able to make the payment. But tell her I've said, let her give you release forms." And that's when I started crying. And he asked me, "Why are you crying now? I'm letting you go." I told him it's because I don't know where I'm going. But thank you. And he gave me his number. He said, "If you need anything, just call me." So I went downstairs and cleared everything, and I was let go. And my good friend picked me up as well, dropped me home. And my friend spoke to a few other friends and other people we might know in common, and they tried to come up with the funds. And I went back to the hospital to submit some documents for application for the charity. God knows I wanted to clear that balance, but it was close to impossible. No one was, especially not, no one was going to hire me, because the process starts with visa and going for medicals, and I'm pregnant. I'm not married. So ile pesa kidogo walichanga, and I took the money. They used to send it to my account. It's got myself a ticket, and I asked God, and I said, if I get arrested at the airport, they take me to jail. They find out I'm pregnant, and then I'll be jailed for a couple months, and I'll be deported back home. Either way, I'll end up going home. If I don't get arrested in the airport, well and good, I'll go home. But I'm still going to try find a way to pay up what I owe in the hospital. Everyone thought I was crazy, but I was gonna go through with it because Ababu. Either way, if I don't go home, I'll starve. Soon I'll have no money for food or for my room or for anything. And still, either way, I'll be arrested. I'll be kicked out of the house. I don't know. Got my ticket, got to the airport, and everything went through. Nobody asked me anything about hospital bills or anything. And I saw myself in the plane. I cried a lot. I got home, broke the news with my family. I've never seen people excited as they were. Still didn't know how I was feeling. Part of me is scared, but I can't wait to have this baby. I'm planning on a gender reveal video very soon, and very soon. Baby's coming very soon. Don't try these because your bahati yangu sio yako. Don't try these. This was like escape, like escape from Sobibor or whatever. But I'm alive. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I'm growing so big. And I'm blessed. Thanks you all for watching.